But first up this morning, if you think quilting is just an old pastime, think again. There's this new exhibit at the Wisconsin Museum of Quilts. It's called Modern Perspectives, and the artists take new twists on traditional designs and the use of new materials. It is truly incredible. Look at that!
Yeah.
I mean, would you know that's a quilt? It's
No.
amazing. Here to tell us and show us a whole lot more is the museum's executive director, Melissa Ralstad. Welcome to the Morning Blend. I love
very much.
the color that you bring to our studio. It's like you bring the whole exhibit here to the Morning
Good parts
Blend.
of it anyways.
We love it. Nice to see you again.
Thank you very much for having me back. I appreciate it.
Isn't this stuff gorgeous?
It's absolutely gorgeous, and some of it's curious. Like, you know,
Yes.
what is this?
Do we want to get right into it?
We've got to have some fun things. One of the things that is so amazing about Modern Perspectives is it really showcases the artists using freedom of self-expression by creating these different kinds of fiber art. So twisting existing patterns, using new materials or materials in an unusual way. The one that you were looking at is called Eden.
It looks like a mushroom top.
It's not a mushroom top. It's actually a foam base, and then the artist used felted wool over the top of it and then embellished it with glass beads. So it's felted wool, glass beads over foam. So again, something that's just really interesting, gives it a lot of texture and depth.
What does this have to do with quilting? Is just the materials used, or is this just kind of a decoration
It's
piece?
not just about quilting. The museum is a museum of quilts and fiber arts. So this is just another type of fiber art with the felted wool.
And I'm glad you asked me that, because Denise, we were talking about it before. She's never seen you guys before. This is her first time meeting you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Well, one of the things we were talking about is, do you use them as blankets? Are they functional? But really, this is art, right?
This is different.
This is art. This is not the comforters that you'd throw on your bed or something like that. These are wall hangings for the most part. So this really is right. This really is art, and not all of it. I mean, like this piece, for example, or else the one that's over here. It's called compass triangles.
This is incredible.
And the image that was up,
this is like paper.
That's exactly what it is. It's watercolor, handmade paper, and then the artist Rod Buffington did stitching over the top of that in order to create this. And this was actually inspired by the Mariner's Compass quilt, which is the museum's donor quilt, which is the one that was just up, the image that was just up. So he took that as his inspiration and created something else, which the Mariner's Compass is more of a traditional pattern, and did something like that, which is influenced by it, but looks completely different and really changed the art.
Let's go a little bit in order here and start with the diamond tread. What's so special about this one?
This is by an artist named Lee Heinrich. And Lee Heinrich is a graphic designer by trade and a quilter by passion. So what she did with this was used negative space, in this case this kind of off-white color, and then emulating a diamond or a tire tread. Through here, but again, that kind of blends both of her worlds. And the idea, again, that use of negative space is something that's very typical, very common with modern expressionism.
I was looking to see if any of the fabric is repeated, and because it's all in the same color family, it's hard to tell exactly. But she repeats.
There are a few.
Very few, though. Very few are actually repeated.
I'm
even
trying
though
to look for one.
It looks like so many of these look similar, but they're actually different fabrics. Can you see that? That's kind of cool. I like that.
So next on the list, are we looking at Eden fiber?
This was Eden.
This was Eden fiber.
This is our mushroom top here. I actually thought maybe you were going to say that light could come through and it was a lamp top or a shade.
Not a lamp top.
But it's not a lampshade. I love that picture of it there too, and a nice close-up.
Yep, shows a little bit different perspective, a little bit better detail, just to see some of the beading and again what she did with some of the, or what the artist did with some of the fiber.
We talked about the compass triangles. The Mariner's Compass is the one that you mentioned, and that's the donor recognition quilt. Okay, and then moving from that to the quilted wall hanging, is that the one that's behind you there?
Well, this is quilted wall hanging. So we've got
good fit. This one.
Good fit right here. Which one of the things that's really neat about this one is, I mean, it still uses those bright colors. You still have that negative use of space. What's a little bit different about this one is that it uses applique, which is a very traditional quilting technique, but it's not something that's very often done in modern quilting. So they're taking this very traditional technique and using it in a little bit different way in something that really isn't done very often in modern quilting.
Okay, crosses, steel.
Crosses and steel we have an image of, but I didn't bring with me. The other one,
is that the image right there we're looking at?
Yes.
Cool.
Okay, yes. That's cool.
I like that.
But again, you know, taking that sense of that negative space, the different colors, so you're not always using these bright colors, so some of the darker colors or the grays and things like that, which is similar to this one. So you're using the gray background with this.
Pink's my favorite color, and honestly,
you really like this
yeah,
one
I love
then, right?
this one. And nothing shows off pink, in my opinion, better than a dark gray. I mean, this is like totally in my wheelhouse. I love this one.
And this one is actually by an artist named Rebecca Bark. Rebecca is actually a Milwaukee artist. She is one of the founding members and the co-president of the Milwaukee Modern Quilt Guild.
Oh,
so
cool.
This you know, is something, this isn't just something that's going on.
Oh, it's all pink on the back.
Yeah, it's pink on the reverse side.
Can you ask her if I can have
Are these for sale, or are these just for showpieces at the museum?
The museum exhibits them.
Okay.
So they're not for sale in the museum.
Okay, because Molly would
pieces.
come by this one.
Yes, I would. It's so adorable. I love the back of that. It's funny, too, because if you hang it this way, you see the beauty, but it's like you almost want to be able to see both sides of it.
Well, and that's one thing that, you know, with having some of this negative space, that really makes it kind of an interesting thing. You can see the stitching. Depending on which side you're looking at, the background,
I can see that here.
you can actually see some of the stitching. You can see some of the design, the additional design that they put into it, and that's the quilting. So, you know, that stitching is the quilting. What Rebecca also did was took 8 different very traditional quilt patterns and really emphasize that stitching. So you can see the different stitching around here, those really bright colors. So again, just kind of taking that traditional and turning it on its head.
Now, you've got some exciting stuff going on, because there's an
definitely
exhibit that you have going on now through April 6th, and this is the new Modern Perspectives that we've been looking at. People can visit. You have different hours, and there are a couple days people can visit just by appointment.
Mondays and Tuesdays by appointment. Otherwise, the museum is open Wednesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and on Sundays from noon to 4.
Now, this Saturday, the 11th, from 10:30 to 5, you have the Slice and Insert Improvisation Workshop, right?
That one's on Sunday.
That one's on Sunday.
Saturday is Menu of Modern, which...
Thank you. Menu of Modern is Saturday. Okay, the Slice and Insert Improvisation is Sunday from noon to 4.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and Saturday, I mean, there's still, if anybody wants to come out to it, there's still time. They can still sign up. What's really amazing about that one is you have a chance to meet some of the artists. They'll be doing lectures and trunk shows. So if you like these pieces, they'll have even more. Book signings, it's an entire day with these 4 really talented artists. And then in addition to that, we also are honored to be welcoming Nancy Zeman, who's the host of
Sewing with Nancy.
Sewing with Nancy, yep. She just released a new memoir. We're one of her first stops.
Very cool.
Awesome.
And then our registration for our very popular University Days opens up February 1st. University Days is 2 days of classes, lectures, workshops, all sorts of fun stuff. And we will also be partnering with the Milwaukee Art Museum on March 8th to do an afternoon of quilting at the Milwaukee Art Museum.
I
so
love
there's
it.
all sorts of fun stuff coming up.
There is, and
like
I love it when you guys are here. At first, I'm like, quilting, I don't know, I'm not a seamstress. I love it when you guys, well, yeah, you can just appreciate art and truly value the things you have going on. Thank you so much for bringing all of these great pieces and for sharing with us.
Thank you very much for having me. It's always fun to come out and show everybody. Quilting is about the art. I mean,
this is one of the coolest things I've seen in a long time.
It's awesome, the fiber arts.
They're beautiful pieces. I mean, they really are beautiful works of art.
Nice to have you.
Thank you
so much for your time.
Much.
Appreciate it. Up next.